What is good? This is Noah on my journey. We've just arrived at Sprague's. Sprague's Maple Restaurant. It's good stuff. It isn't open until 8 a.m., so I'm stuck here until then. You know, just kind of waiting for Sprague's to open, really. But the journey's been good so far. We traveled through most of the night. I'd say we slept for maybe 2 hours under some trees, some hill somewhere, but it's been a good time. I think the key to doing this type of thing is being completely relaxed, because conservation of energy is everything. You know, if you're not every second conserving energy, you know, you get tired out so fast. So any little expenditures have to be treated as like pain training. You know, it's taking what comes at you, so to speak. In any case, this is the first video of the journey, although there may be more before it. And it's probably going to be all cut and pieced together, you know how it is. But it's good. And hopefully, you know, maybe in the next 20-15 days, I make my way down to Savannah, Georgia. That's, you know, Cuba, New York, Olean, down to Savannah. What is it, 860 miles? You know, jogging, walking, maybe I'll hitchhike a little bit. I will include that in the video, but it's been good. Let's get some pancakes. Alright, Noah checking in. I have just rested from approximately, let's say 8 o'clock. It's about 4 now. You know, napping in between. I was kind of down by the lake. Cat naps, you know, drifting out of consciousness. Good stuff though. I figure, you know, if I don't do that, then I'll, you know, break down. So we're still at Sprague's. It's 4 o'clock. We're gonna go down, chug some water, fill up a water bottles, the bathroom, and hit the road again. We'll kind of go over what we're wearing too. So basically, we have the Superman undershirt. This kind of checkered, you know, sweater vest with a hood. Baseball pants. Let's see. Socks, and we have a base layer of it's kind of like a yoga pants material. Just kind of, you know, keep warm, but it's not too bad. It's that. It's a nice day. I'll check in later. Started in New York. There she is. Looking at this beautiful highway. Right? And now we're here. But new developments. We found some apples. You see in that bottom corner there? And my philosophy on this matter is that, you know, take what you can find. You walk by an apple tree, take the apples, you know, peaches, because you never know where you're going to find food sources. And moving across the country like this, dude, you have some apples, you're low on calories, it tastes so good. So here we are, entering Pennsylvania, and the game plan is, you know, pretty much check in every state line, and really anything interesting, there's some cool shots we see. Alright, check out. What is good? This is day 2. We're looking at my sleep spot last night. It's this little thicket right off the highway, and, you know, it comes up. There's a little gas line, and you know, it's not much, but it was kind of, you know, mystical coming off the highway like that. So this is day 2. Begin the journey. We're headed into Eldridge, I believe. Maybe 4 miles, 5 miles out. We'll get there, maybe have some breakfast, get some wire for my backpack. The piece keeps popping off. I keep losing it on the ground, and without the piece, the shoulder strap doesn't work. So it's been a pain in the butt, but it's all good. So we're moving forward, making decent progress, and we'll see. Maybe another check-in today, a couple cool scenes, we'll see, maybe not. But yeah, that's it. We got this nice rain poncho. Totally recommend if you are doing any traveling anywhere. The rain poncho is a must. Get a nice big one. Cover your shoulders, your back, your front. It's huge. And they're cheap too. They're super light, and they save your butt, man. I mean, a waterproof backpack as well. Because it starts raining and you don't have a waterproof poncho or a nice jacket. I mean, even with the jacket, I recommend a poncho. Nice hood on it, covers your legs. You can kind of sleep curled up in it, even if it's raining, and it was. And you're still able to sleep and stay relatively dry. So yeah, big poncho, very important. Until next time, check out. As we move through northern Pennsylvania, we're just admiring this beautiful scenery here. We've kind of settled in the pace, it was real tough there for a while. Just figuring out if I'm gonna continue this. We're trying to bag 50 miles a day. And we figure if we can walk 15 minutes a mile, this is possible, including breaks and sleeping time and all such things. This is one of the things that makes this worth it. The scenery. And that feeling in your legs too. Your legs, your body, it hurts. But I'm over that initial hump where it's really bad. And I have to imagine it's going to get way worse in the future, especially when I start jogging and, doing all sorts of crazy things. But for now, it's like that hurt that feels good, like you're building, marching forward, improving. It's a good thing. We tried hitchhiking a little bit, but no dice. It was nighttime, so I don't blame people. Ended up just laying down next to the road for a little bit, and someone actually stopped. But, just saw me lying on the ground. Probably thought I was injured or something. And asked me if I was okay and stuff. Anyways, just a little shot of me walking and some scenery, some cars, and it's not bad walking these back roads. Your body gets in the rhythm of it, and then you just kind of, I'm listening to music right now, some beautiful chapel music playing in my ears, and you just, you're watching cars as they go by, and, admiring the cars themselves and the people, and people kind of giving you strange glances and stuff, but it's cool, I like that. And this all, of course, is, really beautiful. I don't think a lot of people in Pennsylvania think that their land is beautiful. Maybe. Because we tend to combine beauty with the exotic. I find a good meditative exercise just to imagine that I'm not from this area, and you come here and everything's strange to your eyes. It's cool, If you're not from here and these trees are foreign to you, and I don't know, you picture like an alien or something come down to Earth, and you could actually kind of vibe this way too. It's interesting, especially with people. If you vibe like you're like an alien, everything looks all strange. Perhaps not an alien, maybe just white dude that grew up in China. Oh, this isn't too shaky, but what are you gonna do? I'm walking. So we are 3 miles out of Port Allegheny, and some way to go to wherever it is. We figure, even though we think we're following the directions correctly, we figure as long as we take the 155 south, we'll be headed south, which is our goal. We can always correct, because like I'm in China or India, some Brazil, on some back roads, and our directions don't exactly pan out. It's one thing that takes some getting used to is all the noise. Cars rev by you, and a couple of them will actually like rev their engines as they go by. I don't know what that's all about. Good times though. But like I said, the cars, the noise, it does get loud sometimes, especially on the busier roads, or especially at night, because you'll get all adjusted. To the silence of the night, and all of a sudden, just crushes your eardrums. And a lot of cars leave their brights on and such things. Here's one thing. Side note to anyone watching this video that is a driver. It is appreciated if the brights came off. Because it does blind us, Just like an animal. Kind of get like stuck in the headlights. So that's A for drivers. B for drivers. Another point I thought of is that, see, I'm walking here, on the side of the road, and occasionally I do veer on the road, just because it's different, it's different on my feet. You walk on this ground for too much, and I don't know, you get used to it. It's nice to switch it up. I'll do the same thing with my feet. I'll walk a little different, or add a little swagger to my walk, just to strain different muscles. In any case, so that car right there did it. You don't really have to veer over into the lane. I think that's stressful, at least for the driver. There's no reason to veer. Just keep driving as you drive, and I'll keep doing as I do. It's like you don't like go out of the way for a car as you drive by it on the side of the road. Two cars each driving opposite directions. Same principle. Like there's the same amount of distance between me and the car, as long as you're not drunk and veering all over the place. It's no issue. That happens. So just keep the brights off, man. And stay on your side, man. No worries. Note to self: be sure to grab some extra batteries for our foreign travels, as well as some extra water. We're fine. It's the United States, really. Like, what do we have to stress? There's a town every 20 miles. Always houses and cars driving the roads. Worst comes to worst, I jump in front of the car to make it stop and, get it to get me somewhere. I don't like to be rude. I keep it classy, so I stick out my thumb and stuff, but a lot of stuff I'm still figuring out, the art of hitchhiking, such things, art of walking huge distances, and, I don't know, videography. There's a bird in that bush. You do sometimes hear some weird noises from animals. Like, you're walking, or you're actually in the woods, close to the woods, you're taking a little nap, get off a little bit from the road, and you hear stuff rumbling around in the brush, and you just control your imagination, really. Keep in mind, most animals are scared of humans. Although, that first night, I leave around 11 o'clock, so maybe it's like 4 in the morning. 3. I rested for maybe 3 hours. Perhaps longer, who knows. In any case, I'm next to this tree and there's this screeching from the woods. and it sounded like no animal I'd ever heard before. So I was a little freaked, but it's good, you know. That's excitement to my life. You know, breaks the mundaneness. This whole thing is, that's kind of the idea. I'm switching it up, changing the game. The feet move. Yeah, just moving, man. Feels good. Real good. I keep debating what style to do this in, you know. As far as voice goes, you know, how to change it up, and I'm not even sure what volume to use. I suppose it changes, you know, the speaker changes. So right now I have to talk louder because the car's coming. So it's like a test. We'll see how the speakers picked up this type of thing. You know, because the speaker gets quieter if these louder noises, such things. I think that's true. Who knows? Whoa! See what this car does. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Standing on his side, I hopped off the road. No worries, no stress. Again, if there's stress in the beginning, you know you're stressed about the cars, it'll fade. Everything fades. Get used to things. It's like I don't know. Generally, you don't stress walking or stress putting a fork in your mouth, milk in a bowl of oatmeal. She just waved. That's cool. We like the sport. It's good. Smile at some cars maybe. Wave at a couple. Create some good vibes. It's good. Another interesting point. We don't plan on shaving, of course, and depending how long this trip takes, we'll slowly see a change in my beard hair. Beard length. This should be interesting. Currently, we are listening to Intergalactic by Kid Cudi. Intergalactic, you and me. Intergalactic, you and me. Ready? Pop it. Let's go. Intergalactic, you and me. Intergalactic, you and me. Imagine. But it's easier to just do. Do what you imagine. What is imagination to you? Space in your brain. Hate and things all the same. Your secrets. You tick. You talk. Because your voice is angelous. The iPod is a good idea. It's like a whole new dynamic to walking. Because it changes your surroundings, what you listen to. It's cool. That is, I'll explain. Beethoven, man. Intense. And the cars take on a different light. Little Kid Cudi, I swagger a little bit. You know, different rhythm, different beat. Here's a car. You see that? I mean, it's a common courtesy, but I feel like it's extra strain on the driver, and I don't like that. Because I feel like this may foster ill feelings towards people that do this type of thing. That is, you know, long distance. Because it's kind of annoying to have to, like, you know, change the pace. You're kind of a robot driving the car. I mean, maybe it's good, you know, it switches it up, makes you think, move a little bit. I'm all about that. But it's unnecessary. Alright, gentlemen. I think this ends this tape. I just want a little bit of walking through the country, you know. give you a taste of what it's like. That's what it feels like. You get a little buffet of wind from the big ones. You know, they fly by and it's like the car goes, you get the initial wind, and behind you, it's like there's this backdraft. It's cool. Ponder worthy. Check out. Alright, here we are again for our daily checkup. I actually only stopped because my backpack broke for a second. All fixable, no worries. Man, it has been a journey so far. Slept this nice little pine bed actually. It was, I don't know, someone just cut down a bunch of pine and, you know, all of the clippings were still on the ground. So I kind of piled them all up and made this nice bed for myself. You know, piled it up on the side for a little buried to the road. I slept there for maybe 6 hours. It was nice. So then we're continuing the morning, making good progress. I'm fogging up a little bit here. And we're kind of chilling out next to the road, and you know, state trooper rolls up. We have a nice little conversation about what I'm doing, where I want to go. He actually offers to give me a ride, you know, after he IDs me and stuff. One of the functions of receiving a ride from the state trooper is that they get to search your bags and go through all your belongings. I didn't like that too much, so you know, I politely refused. But that is cool, you know, if you're not you know, carrying anything, you're not obliged to have your bag searched. Then yeah, I mean, if take all the rides you can get. I think that could have bought me like 17 miles. But, you know, it's a journey, yo. So anyways, it's been real. We'll probably do a little shot of us walking. And we'll have to see. But we are on the second sheet. Good news. You know, slow progress. We are currently taking cover under someone's I don't know, wood storage area, and kind of cool. What's good? We just got a ride from that same police officer, state trooper, that we saw earlier. Real cool guy, it turns out. He contacted my mom about me. You know, he's kind of worried to see some kid guy, you know, going on the highway. He's worried about him. So he contacts my mom. My mom fills him in as far as, you know, my life has been the past few months. He ends up finding me later down the road. I'm just kind of hanging out, reading my Kindle. I just start walking. He pulls up, offers to drive me, you know, a few miles down the road. So we end up going to a grocery store. We pick up some groceries. I got some oatmeal, granola bars, some juice. You know, good stuff. It's staple things that's going to help me continue. I purchased. And then he drove me probably like 16, 17, 20 miles. So, I mean, that's like on a bad day, an entire day for me. So it's huge. You know, we chatted. He's ex-military. He's deployed in Afghan 2 times, played rugby in college. You know, we talked drugs and laws and, you know, exchanged some stories, such things. He's kind of leaning towards myself going military, it seems, which makes sense given his background. But, you know, who knows what lies in my future, but it's good to hear about him, and, you know, always good to see people. So we continue into the night, and we'll check another time. We are almost finished with page 2, thanks to this kind gesture by the Joe of the state police here in Pennsylvania. Rock on. Rock on. We just hitchhiked into, is it Skylar? With a man named Fred. It's cool. We're at a gas station. Saved me like a 9-mile walk. You know, I just had a nurse stick up my thumb and saved me all this time. He lives down in central Pennsylvania, but I didn't want to push my hospitality. You know, I figured I'd keep it short distance, and that way stick more to the, you know, the root of the journey, which is self-exploration. And as cool as it is to talk to people, I'm still a bit wary of long hitchhikes. Just following my instincts, you know, maybe that'll change. But for now, I take it easy. You know, we're at a little gas station. We're gonna get a drink. And from here we continue on to North Street on our way to Georgia. Alright, rock on. Details about Fred. Fred is up here for a party with some buddies and family. He built a porch with them. He's headed out to California actually Tuesday to live with his brother, to help his brother with something. Cool guy. He actually offered to hook me up with some bud, which is pretty dope. But unfortunately, you know, due to a probation test and such things I'm wary of, I just want to make sure I'm all clean for that so I can travel the world. Alright, here we are, rock on. I hope the camera caught all that, in any case. We've stopped for the night, at least a few hours. It was pouring rain at the gas station. We decided to truck through it. Got some bags for our feet, and our feet just got soaked. I mean, all of us got soaked, but the feet, man. And you're trudging along for miles and miles and miles, and your shoes are soaked, and your socks are soaked. You know, when your feet start to get all like, you sit in the bathroom too long, your skin gets that way. It's like that, but times like 2. You know, and I mean, your feet are sore to begin with, right? Like you're hiking so many miles. But the wet shoes with the wet socks, like all my socks are wet. And my shoes are just completely soaked through. I mean, the one bag came off of my foot and, you know, water still got in the other one at the bag. The bags are a good idea, though. Just a tighter seal, maybe. In any case, we're letting the shoes air out under this boat. Where hopefully they should be covered by some rain. Covered from the rain, that is. And we've made good progress. We really feel motivated. Maybe because of all the rides we've gone today. How many miles we've bagged. I mean, we've bagged at least, I'd say 30 miles today. No, more than that. Maybe 50. We may have hit 50 today, so good news. That's real good. Hopefully we wake up tomorrow, you know, do a little breakfast. I don't know if we're going to have dinner tonight. Probably not. What did we have today? We had a few granola bars because we stopped at that store with the cop. So maybe 2 Nutri-Grains, one of those, you know, chocolate and oats. Maybe a slice of pizza this morning. I don't remember. But it's been real low calorie, and I feel fine. Maybe that's like whatever the expression is, speaking for the horse in the mouth or something or another. In any case, we're feeling good, and you know, back down, sleep a little bit, rejuvenate some energy, let these feet air out. And that's kind of the game plan right now. I mean, the feet are wrecked. So I'm going to walk around this grass for a little bit. You know, get the blood flowing them again and just let them air, let the shoes air out. Let the bag dry. Just going to land at this boat and maybe read a little bit. The iPod is dead. Cash is still fine. Camera doing okay on battery. I hope it lasts. But all is well in northern Pennsylvania. This fellow was going to central Pennsylvania, and see, I wasn't sure if I should ask him because initially, you know, off the road, yeah, I kind of go, oh, I'm headed to the next town, and I don't want to push myself on people, and sometimes I feel like I'm being a parasite, you know, and make people feel a little bit awkward. I don't know. Maybe that's just me reading into things, one of my paranoias, or maybe it's true. In any case, it's something you gotta confront. And that's kind of maybe part of this, is just confront fears and stuff. One thing I have gotten better about is cars, you know? Like a car drives by like in 3 inches away from me. And I mean, there's no phase. Maybe that's unsafe. But in any case, you get conditioned to those things that fear you. Cause you fear. Perhaps even if there's a fear of these things to begin with for a reason. Not a bad thing, we're here. Some houses. This is like a car place. So hopefully we don't have trouble. You know, if we wake up in the morning and some cops standing here, you know, what are you doing? You're trespassing. this could spell bad for us. But in any case, we're gonna crash it for a little bit. It's kind of homey. It's off the highway. Who knows? Checking out for tonight. Rock on. Welcome to last night's crash place. This has got to be one of my least favorite spots. So we come in last night, and I think I made a recording. My feet are soaked. Everything's still completely wet, including a lot of the bag and supplies as well. So essentially, we just sort of crawled in underneath here, dropped the backpack right where that sock is, and just laid up against it. Didn't really sleep at all, shivered the entire night. And we are almost out of battery, so this is not looking good. So we're gonna cut this off real fast, and hopefully find a gas station or something to hang out for a little bit, dry some socks, and charge my stuff. Peace out.
Life is all about being happy. If you're not happy, change it.
Yes. Thank you, Tiger. That's awesome.
If you ask anybody.
Alright, this is Jay. We exchanged some Lord of the Rings lines, talked about trucks, I learned a few things, and he drove me 35 miles.
Yep.
Alright. It's good talking to you, Jay.
Yeah, good talking to you too. Glad to help a friend and meet.
Yeah, I'm glad you were here. Good too. Here we sit after leaving Jay. He was a trucker. And we are currently looking for another hitchhiker. We have a theory that the key to hitchhiking is being yourself absolutely, like being confident, like telling yourself, I know people are gonna stop for me. You kind of cast your aura and hope for the best. So we're standing here and hoping for the best. We're hoping to hopefully get out of Pennsylvania today. I think that'd be dope because we've been traveling so much with these, this hitchhiking. It's totally taking miles off the board, which we didn't expect. I guess in our head we kind of had we were walking the entire thing, and the temptation to hitchhike is just too strong, especially if I can bag 30, 40 miles at a stretch, in like 20 minutes. It's huge. That's an entire day for me. So we stand here. Let's see. In ourselves, we're confident. The people come as they may. We're hiding the camera a little bit down below. Remember, no matter what I do, someone's going to pick me up. Doesn't matter how I hold my thumb up, the thing I say, the look I give the person, the camera in my hand, the people in the car, the type of car, they're going to pick me up. I know this to be true. It's like some positive affirmation, but I think that's huge because you cast like this personality around you, and people, whether they can consciously pick it up, if they're sensitive, or they unconsciously pick it up, we're all affected by it to some degree. So I think that's the key. So that's that for now. Looks like we got something on our lens. We got to clean our lens up. So far, so good though. Alright, check out.
For winter time.
Alright, I'm here with Mike. He just gave me a huge ride way out of his way. I'm now down to 70 South, and hopefully I can catch a ride down to,
DC or boat, man.
DC or wherever. So this has been a good chunk of the journey, and I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, I think a good spot here to catch a ride. I guarantee that, man.
I hope so.
And by the truck.
What is good? New check-in. We have made it into West Virginia. Yes. It feels good to be crossing state lines, and unfortunately we don't have a picture, because the man I hitchhiked in with. But it's good, he cut out a lot of miles for us. I think he got me about 55, so that's solid. For a while there, I went down this road here, and it was the wrong way. The man gave me some iffy directions, or I didn't get them. In any case, we wandered on the road, mile and a half. It was pretty. It was very scenic, and we met this old lady. She was actually kind of pretty, and she told me all about Savannah and how to get there. So apparently, I'm taking this one right here. Taking 81. Taking 81, and then I'm 81 south, and then 66 east. And then 95 south, and that should get me all the way to Savannah. So hopefully I just stick to 95 south, stop at the occasional rest stop, maybe even find someone going to like Florida or something, and just hitchhike into Savannah, man. So maybe who knows? I mean, people don't like to pick up hitchhikers at night. I've never had a hitchhiker so far. I mean, I've only hitchhiked like 7 times. But in any case, I haven't had a hitchhiker, someone pick me up at night, that is. So we'll have to see. Here's our first, yeah, I feel like people in this area don't like hitchhikers for some reason. Everyone kind of revs their engine when they go by, so I don't know if that's a good thing. In any case, we're looking for the hitchhike in, and we'll check another time. It's good to be here, though. It's good to be in New Zealand. Not New Zealand. I guess I'm kind of tired, but I don't feel tired. I feel pretty alert. Although I did fall asleep. I stopped at this hotel to use the computer, and the computer the entire time was updating. So I stay here for like 40 minutes at this computer. I walk in there, I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, can I use your computer for a minute? And she kind of looks at me and she goes, I guess so. And I sit down and I turn the computer on and it's updating. So I'm like, oh, it's going to take an extra second to get on here. And like 40 minutes go by. I'm practically passed out. I'm nodding off, and eventually the computer updates, gets to 100%, and then restarts and updates again, like a different system, different faculty. So I fell asleep there, wandered around, eventually got some decent directions, and then we took that 70 east, which got us basically here onto the 81. That gentleman dropped us off at this point, and here's where we stand. It's good though. If we have to crash here, I mean, there's some long grass over there, and maybe we'll just walk it to be a badass, We'll have to see. And so far, again, no luck with the hitchhiking, but sometimes it does take a while. Like I said, just the key is confidence, just know that if you're meant to get the hitchhike, you're meant to get the hitchhike. If not, like, I'm cool walking through the night, it feels good. It's great exercise. In fact, I kind of missed it, I was cheating all these miles. I mean, call it cheating, like, I don't think it's cheating, like, it's still a journey, and it's still adventurous, you're meeting new people, seeing new things. I'm kind of curious about, I get this feeling when someone approaches, like, I kind of, like, lock onto them, and I think they get this from me, like, they're kind of wary of me. I mean, maybe, right? But in any case, I think I have to, like, somehow cancel this and cast positive good feelings. But I don't want to do it like a snake, like change like their mind so they pick me up. Like, I want it to be like genuine, like I'm just sitting here like hitchhiking and they're just, whoa, what's up? Well, you seem cool, let's hitchhike you somewhere. But I might have to start vibe changing. We'll give it like 20 minutes and then we'll practice the vibe change. Or we'll do something crazy, like we'll dance or sing or something. Draw attention to ourselves, because I feel like that's it. Like, you draw attention to yourself and you look like innocent. And people are like, bored kid, it's getting dark, let's give him a ride. Or they're just like, he's cool, he's adventurous. I don't exactly know how people see me. No, I don't exactly know what image I would prefer. And I think I'm trying to get away from image managing anyways. Just kind of letting whatever happen, like whatever spews out of my mouth, spew out of my mouth. And kind of whatever event occurs without trying to change everything. But I think the skill to change things is very powerful, which is i.e. like meditation. Like I'm reading this book, it's called Dune, and it's highly recommended. It's science fiction, bestseller. It's genius in all the social, cultural, government, military aspects, and incorporates into this awesome story. I mean, it really is genius. I'm on the 5th book right now. It's kind of the series I'm reading right now. But in the book they mention like this prana bindu stuff, which is like muscle training, like you train your body to like move like your little pinky, and just your little pinky on your foot, say. Your little toe, that is. And this gives you like better muscle control and a better ability to control those muscles, and when that develops is mental strength and kind of mental acuity. And then from there you can kind of do other things with your head, and it's just like that training, that mental training, and that's what I think is important to develop, but not to an excessive degree that you try to control everything around you. One of the characters in the story actually mentioned this, the Bene Gesserit, or Gesserit, however you want to pronounce it, are like these witches, sort of witches, but they're just really just normal people that train since they're very young. Keep in mind this is the future, and they take this it's called spice or melange, and essentially it's this drug really, and it expands the lifespan. You can live up to 300 years if you take spice or melange. But in any case, based on your certain mindset, it can do other things other than increase your lifespan or make food taste like this particular substance. One of the gifts is that it's like mind expansion. It's like it sets you in this like meditative state, and allows some people prescience, or seeing the future, or digging into like past lives and past ancestry, such things. It's cool stuff. In any case, the Bene Gesserit get accused of controlling, right? Once a Bene Gesserit achieves the status of Reverend Mother, which is essentially when she enters what's called a spice trance and gains access to every female ancestor in her genes. So essentially she is able to access these memories and personas from the time she was conceived. So like you have access to all these massive memories and other, in theory, Bene Gesserit mothers who also had these access to memories and were like geniuses themselves. So you create this super powerful base. But in any case, the character accuses them, he just makes the observation that once they achieve this, they almost step out of the realm of human, and they become sort of, something else. And this leads to them, combined with all their prana bindu exercises and mental control, kind of controlling and manipulating everything around, makes them very manipulative. Which is powerful, but I feel like something like that would detract from your life experience, Like we have certain, at least this is my belief, that we have certain set experiences we're meant to experience, and that if you go with the flow and you learn how to take each circumstance as it comes to you, that, you live a beautiful life, or at least a life that, I hate to say you were supposed to live, because I think no matter what you make of your life is kind of what it was supposed to be. But in any case, you have a life that, you didn't shy away from, you didn't try to change things for the sake of, making your life easier. Like, you didn't shy away from things, you're the quote-unquote man, or you dominated your life or whatever. But on a side note, developing these abilities could definitely be strong for getting people to pick you up when you're trying to hitchhike and it's near and dark and you don't want to sleep on the side of the road or undertake like a 50-mile highway. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, man, because the universe is just throwing stuff at you. This will go in the longer video, I assume. The short YouTube one, maybe not. I don't know, maybe some like philosophical inquiry at some point. I don't even know how much this is getting of me, actually. Let's spin this around. And we are almost dead already. So we're gonna end this video so we can still get some shots, people, some short video. That's that. Let's charge this baby in a car. That's cool. I can charge the battery in a car. I have that attachment, so that's valuable. In any case, check out, and let's hope we get this ride, man. Otherwise, I'm gonna attempt this highway, and that sign says no pedestrians on the highway. So we'd have to see how that went. And you can't hitchhike on the highway; it's illegal. Oh, which I assume pedestrians are as well. So we're gonna try that. Ready? Vibe changing. I need you. They weren't about it, and I assume most people won't be. So check out. Seconds after I dropped the camera, we think we flagged down this truck here. We run after him at the expense of that little thing that goes in my backpack that keeps popping out. So we're running after him with a bag half packed, stuff flying out. I'm rushing. He stops. He pulls forward. He keeps going. I figure, I don't know. He didn't think that I was hitchhiking with him. I get there and it's he rolls down the window. He goes, "No, man, I'm just trying to sleep." I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." So then I came up here and drank some random water bottle I found on the side of the road. So maybe that wasn't a good idea, but we'll see. In any case, rock on. It turns out we got a ride, good stuff. Talked about some karate and Bruce Lee. The gentlemen, they were up drinking, and they live down here, so they got me down to 66, which is awesome. And had some good conversation. So now we're at McDonald's, contemplating what to get. Probably, I don't know if we're gonna get anything. But now we've got to go from, just so I remember it, 6 to 28, and we're taking 17 down to 95 south. So from 95 south, hopefully we can find Savannah. We'll give you a little shot of McDonald's. Rock on. Just woke up. It is approximately, give me a moment. Approximately 9:56. We stopped walking maybe around 10:30. We bedded down over there, right next to the highway, up this bank. Slept, I don't know how many hours. And then decided to move, and we kind of set up this shelter here. Just kind of put the tarp up, braced it with a stick there, and slept right underneath it, braced against the backpack. Good stuff. That gentleman we met last night, probably one of the coolest people I've met so far. Started with the line, "You're not a serial killer, are you?" Which is just curious, because if I was, I don't think I'd say yes. But I think it was more of a joke. But it was a good line. And ended with, "Stay trippy, my friend." So we're gonna try to hitchhike to, or walk to exit 28, 66 east, and then we're gonna follow 17 down to 95 south, and from there hope for like the jackpot. All right, peace. currently we sit at a train station and we hope to possibly embark on a train. It seems. We'll walk for a second. It's advised not to leave the bags alone, but it seems that for now no one's here. I'm kind of confused regarding some of the directions. See. Virginia line seems only covers Virginia. See that Spotsylvania? I'm currently in Fredericksburg, which is the second right above Spotsylvania. So that'd be, I'm much farther south than I expected, which is way a good thing. Like I'm, almost at the very southern end of Virginia, which is dope. So you can purchase tickets at these things. Focus on that. Whoa. So there's the purchase tickets. But it only allows you to purchase tickets up to Spotsylvania. Now I'm curious if it's Spotsylvania, I could then order a ticket to the next, closest train station, because we viewed this, this map. We'll head down to it right now. I'll do a new video for this because I'm, running low on battery. But we may eat at the Bavarian Chef, Delicioso. We'll see. It depends, on our train situation. So in any case, whoa, train coming in. People we can ask. Cool. We do hear this, right? Yeah, definitely a train. So I'm going to cut the video and we're going to see if we can talk to some people and figure out my situation. I'm thinking maybe we can have someone buy the ticket for me with their credit card because I'm currently lacking. That's something Noah in the future look into. That could be very important. Just transfer the funds basically to a debit card bank account, which we can then use, within the country and out of state. I think that'd be kind of powerful. Also considering the fact that you can order things online, like that's a whole nother dynamic I could explore. So we'll see. In any case, we're waiting for this train, people to come in. We still haven't called the Madre today. She's probably freaking out. She's got to get used to this, and I'll incorporate this in the video too. But it's like my travel plans are going to include, regions of countries that you just don't have mobile service in. You don't have, you're just not able to call. And if I am in that scenario where, I don't know, let's say I disappear in like Afghanistan for like 3 weeks, I don't want her freaking out. I don't want to be a constant sense of worry. So my solution for now is essentially just a conditioning thing, really. If she grows used to the fact that she's not going to communicate with me every day, she's not going to know what I'm up to, she's not going to know if I'm safe or not. And that's just something you have to accept. And I told her before I left that she had to accept my death. And I didn't mean that quite literally, that I want her to accept that I'm dead, because that wouldn't make any sense, but accept the fact that potentially I could die, and that I'm not going to live my life in a manner in which, to preserve it for my mother or my brothers. And I think it's a matter of free will, that it's my right to live this life in the manner in which I choose. And unfortunately, there's, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for the fact that it could cause those people in my life that love me pain if I were to pass away. But my dad died, and that was I'll just put this in the video anyways. He committed suicide, asphyxiation, put some bags over his head. And as tough as that is on people, I don't judge him for it, because it's his life to live. And who am I to claim out of some almighty sense of high upness that because of me, he doesn't have the right to take his own life or something. And that sounds convoluted, him being my father and everything, but he gave birth to me and raised me and put time and energy into, and there was feelings, of course. But at the end of the day, that's his existence, it's his life, and if he, makes the decision to take his life, not that it's advised for those to take their lives that are having pain and going through a tough time. I think, pain is obviously growth. That's something I always preach. That anything that doesn't really kill us makes us stronger people. But at the end of the day, if someone wants to take their life, it's their decision to do so. And the moment you take that away from someone, it's like, it ceases to be their life. And the moment you say, no, you can't. So I guess that's one of the reasons I support, you know, assisted suicide, you know, doctor death and such things, is that it's, in my opinion, a right of someone to do as they wish with their life. Yeah. And there's of course lots of consequences to this. You know, is someone free to? We should say it's a moral dilemma. Is someone free to then take other life? And I suppose yes. At the end of the day, one is free to do anything that they would like to do. However, you face certain moral, legal, religious, you know, punishments for such things. I wonder where they're headed. It's pretty cool. You can feel the breeze as it goes by. At 8:33, I've told you this 3 times. Sometime tomorrow. Maybe the day after that. No, I'm not worried about anything. I just need this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I have to be hasty because this lady's walking out of the baby. I don't know how long she has. You know. Alright, well, and we can discuss more things at that point in time. Wow. So we finally got the tickets. Very good news. We are leaving at 8:33, which is in approximately 31 minutes. Headed down to Savannah, due to arrive at 6:34. So, I mean, call this a cheat call, what you want, but I'll be getting there earlier, and perhaps, you know, we stay there for a week, a day, 30 minutes, and decide to head somewhere else. You know, it's a journey, not the destination, I like to believe. So no destination's permanent, I say at least. In any case, the quest to acquire the ticket was a quest. We've been wandering around this beautiful town. It is very nice. This would be Friedrichsburg, Virginia. I'd say it's very nice. It's kind of old-fashioned, a lot of brick, a lot of good sights, and then the people seem fairly cool. I did have a big issue though acquiring a phone. I walked in the restaurant here at the Bavarian Club, got the phone, but I needed the credit card, you know. So I asked some people around if I could use their credit card information to get the ticket. That didn't pan so well with the first 2 people I asked. And you know, I would just pay them for the ticket. So they kicked me out of the restaurant. The manager came in, took the phone away, and essentially said leave. But it's all good. I mean, that's kind of policy. You just gotta respect places, and when things don't go according to plan, you just kind of roll the punches. So I continued on my way, and I stopped at another place. No dice, kind of wandering, and then I brainstormed library, and then remembered that my mother had the credit card information as well. So it was just sort of get the credit card information from my mother. And, you know, she wanted to talk for a long time. I didn't have time for this. You know, Russian, and I used some lady's phone, and I sat on the bench next to me, and immediately, I mean, almost exactly like that, and it fell, and I think it cracked. But it was already cracked, I guess, initially, and I'm pretty sure that I cracked it more. But the lady was cool that I immediately offered to, you know, give her as much money she needed to buy a new one. I mean, it sucks, but stuff like this happens. But, you know, she was cool with this, so no dice, no worries. And then I basically I called the number so you can order the tickets over the phone, but you'll get this automated robot female who's actually quite intelligent, good programming, but the voice recognition isn't extremely stellar. At least maybe my accent or how I say things throws it off. In any case, it took a few tries, but eventually we got all of our information in. Head inside to the library, hopped on my email, and my email didn't work on the computer because it's like out of state, so they require verification. So I did the verification thing, and it didn't let me in. So at this point I'm kind of freaked, but I go back to the website and I log in again, and still it doesn't let me. So I tried the alternate option, and I just flagged down the guy next to me on the computer. And I was like, dude, I gotta borrow your cell phone for a minute. And he kind of looks at me, and I was like, I got a train I got to board in like 40 minutes at this point. I'm getting real close, and I'm halfway across town. I'm at least 8, 9, 10 blocks away from the train station. So in any case, I'm like, it's just gonna be this quick email. So he gives me his number. I input it. He gets the code, and it lets me in the email. So the panics kind of takes a step back. I go to print it, and it makes it gives me the option. That was an announcement. I didn't really catch it. In any case, mine is 97, by the way. It asked me to set up the printer. Long story short, I end up getting the tickets, and I'm running across town. People are kind of watching me. It's all, I guess when I move with a lot of energy, and I kind of live in my own universe, I guess. And people sense this, and I'm definitely an oddity, no matter where I go, I think. I mean, maybe that's just paranoia, but I think that's true. Guy just laughed behind me, and it's like, people hear things I say and pick up on my thoughts, right? More laughter, who knows? In any case, it's a journey, and if this is all some giant hoax, I like it. I do. It's a good time. So we're waiting for the train to arrive, and so anyways, we get here, we sit down, video time. It's cool, and the city's nice tonight. Nice city. So that's that. Alright, check out. What is up? We have just actually landed in Savannah, and we're sitting here in a restroom. We just had a sandwich a man gave us. It was a good ride over. It was maybe 8 hours, which isn't bad at all. So right now we're kind of not sure what to do. Maybe we're gonna walk around the city, maybe head over to the ocean, maybe head over to SCAD, a lot of options, a lot of possibilities. So let's get out of here and let's get walking. Cool. What is up? We are here in the beautiful Savannah, Georgia, and let me say, it is quite the city. I'm very impressed. I mean, the architecture is obviously stellar. This lady told me I took this wrong turn on this road, way back in Virginia. She told me that William Sherman? And anyways, his march to the sea during the Civil War, he essentially torched, every Confederate southern city he came to. But for certain reasons, this city was spared, so a lot of the architecture is original and old and very historic. I'm not sure on the historicness or the accuracy of this fact, but it is interesting. In any case, we went down to the boardwalk. Took a nap for a little bit, wandered around the city. We got this burger at this nice burger joint. Had some pink lemonade. It was all good stuff. I kind of been talking to people in the city, getting a feel for it, and I like the feel of the city. I really do. And other than the oddities that go on with myself, you know, call them anxieties or whatever, but the city's very cool and the people seem to be cool themselves. I think the key is just being respectful, you know, standing your ground, obviously, you know, not being afraid to kind of move with force, but like nodding to people and really just like following instincts. Like if your body tells you like just hang your head walking by this guy, like you just hang your head. Or like you know, says don't look away from this person, you look away from the person. Of course, my philosophy is sort of like push through these things on occasion, you know, and you know, be different and fear push and don't be afraid to, you know, push the boundaries of what you're comfortable doing. So of course, I don't always obey this and I'll stare down a crowd for the sake of it, which is very interesting. We really overestimate the fear stuff. It's really only if in your head the crowd is against you, if what you're doing is wrong, the crowd will band against you. But if you make yourself one of the crowd and it's not the crowd versus you, and you view the crowd in this manner or the city in this manner as if you are a part of it, then you know, people don't feel so emboldened in the like the crowd sense. Because like if it's me versus the city revolts and turns against me. It just instinctually does. If I'm vibing this, you know, it's me versus the city, which I will do on occasion just for the sake of it. But if you can switch it in your head, switch it to I am of the city, I am the city, and now I look at you. Right? Like I stare you down, and not like aggressively, but if that's your forte, go ahead. But just like I look at you, like some people are afraid of sight. Like I look at you as a part of the city. And in this way, you're kind of able to look and go where you want to go. That's really cool. I think that would have to go for like New York City and other places too. I'm not saying don't feel like a tourist, like you can look around and you can act like a tourist, but in your head feel like I'm a world citizen, you know, like I'm emboldened, I am destined to be here, and that's a cool feeling to have. Not that I have a whole lot of feeling, I kind of just wander around and enjoy the sights, but a feeling of flicker here and there. A side note, this may be cut. Interesting sensations in my anus. You know, you're walking by people and you get this, and that's my major uncomfortability. And I'm attempting to desensitize it, or at least grow contentment with a feeling, because I think what really bothers me most, other than the feeling itself, is the reaction it inspires in people. Right? I think I get so awkward when like someone walks by me, male or female, and I get this feeling on my anus, and like, or like my leg will twitch and jump out, or like my whole body will quiver. And I have some theories, of course, but they can't be proven nor disproven at this point in time. But it is interesting, and I figure even though I don't know what it is, and it, you know, it may be completely abnormal, if I can just treat it as something that I'm not entirely worried about, other people don't worry about it. Now, of course, this only applies to the common man, I think. You do have the rarity of strictly independent thinkers. And in these cases, these really aren't the people you worry about, because I think to develop that mindset, it's kind of you against the world anyways. So those people tend not to judge as harshly. And if they do, it's with some type of accurate judgment, not in a crowd mentality that just because you feel weird, they feel weird. Like they will only feel weird if they feel weird themselves. So it's sort of like the affect your environment, don't be affected by it. Personally, I want to find a mutual line between these two, the ability to both affect my environment and be affected by it. Because simply affecting your environment, as interesting as this can be, I mean, you're missing on so much, like the vibe of a city, or you walk by a person, you get, you know, the butterflies, whatever, that feeling in your chest, or, you know, any of these things, or even fear responses, and I came to miss these things. Not so much miss them as simply the fact that they juiced up my life, you know? And I was such at a point that it was kind of, I don't know, what am I going to do? What business ventures, what money am I going to make? How am I going to save the planet? You know, like, revolution, like, what am I going to do to take things over? You know, I had to delve in, like, deep philosophy in order to find any real meaning to myself. And it was all philosophical, really, because at no point in time I kind of realized none of it mattered. And I was just at that point, I mean, I would call it a highness, but I scared my parents, and I was very intense. But the way I view things, it was so beautiful. Like, I feel like I refrained from saying a God, because I didn't have God powers. It was strictly my vision and in my mind. It was like I was so completely out there. It was like my eyes just like would see all of something. It was beautiful. Like every human action was like broken down to its actions. I could just, every movement of a leaf you could notice and tell. It was very beautiful. And I'm confident I can reclaim this, but for now I want to find a balance where I can be that person sometimes, but then at times be the a perhaps weaker, sensitive individual that feels things and is maybe intimidated and made fearful of things, you know? Because I think, so it's not fear itself, right? Like, are you, okay, here's a philosophical, moral, man-fear dilemma, okay? Are you more of a man if you fear nothing, or if you fear things but push through the fear of these things in order to do them, right? Because it's like, there's this gentleman down here wind washing the floor, water washing, right? And if I had absolutely no fear, you know, I'm a psychopathic super god or whatever, I don't know, I don't have fear of social interaction. In fact, I don't even see this person as a person. And there's no fear. I mean, this is obviously exaggerations bubbled for the argument itself, but I go down here and crack his jaw, you know, that's like the challenge. I mean, you know, what a challenge. But so I go down there, I do this, and dude, you're a man, dude, like, wow, how did you do this? Or are you more higher on the ladder of prestige if I fear doing this interaction, yet I complete the interaction regardless, despite my fear of it? I'm not sure, you know, where do we draw the line between simply desensitized to the sake that nothing affects me as being the alpha position, or the idea that things do affect me and yet I still can continue and fulfill tasks despite the fear and hesitation and oddness of a scenario. You know, I can get the girl's number, or I can ask, or I can walk in a restaurant and order a burger if I have high anxiety. You know, someone could walk in, get the number, order the burger, punch the guy in the jaw with no feeling at all, you know, other than the physical action of swinging a fist and the image of the man crumpling on the ground, or the burger in his mouth. So I don't know, and I want to find a balance between these things, to be able to interact in any scenario with fear and without it. Because I think both are powerful, because there's definitely those scenarios where, like, not having the fear and being desensitized, like, someone puts a gun in my face, like, I want to be able to react pinpoint, split second perfectly, like James Bond, right? And that's what makes James Bond so good, is that, you know, he's desensitized to a point that it just, you know, there's a gun in my face, there's little fear in that moment, it's simply reaction, and all of your mental energies can go in that reaction rather than fixating on your fear and perhaps having to overcome the fear in order to perform an action. And this can cause some blurring as far as what I'm able to accomplish. So I think a fine balance needs to be made between these two things, and I think I'll find them. Continued as far as my journey. We called Ellie twice, different phones, no answer both times. I left a message the second time. The lady I borrowed the phone from, these people came up shooting a reality television show. They're shooting a scene, and I was like, yo, there's this African American lady, she's maybe 40, brown eyes, and she's sitting on the bench. I'm like, yo, we should get in this shot. And I asked the man, I'm like, yo, can we walk by in the background just to be in the show? He's like, yeah, that's cool. So we just like, we're walking and we're like, I was like, yo, let's carry on a really intense conversation. So like, you know, you kind of spot us, like we're kind of evident, yeah, we look like we're part of the background, the scenery. So we were like, I don't know, talking about nonsense as we walked by, and we split ways, so that's kind of cool. I gave a cigarette I found on the ground to this man. He was very appreciative of it. It was all crumpled up, but he seemed cool, and it felt good to give him something. Introverted, extroverted, you can definitely enjoy a city. Develop an appreciation for the architecture, the way things look, the colors, the people, the way people walk, the movements, accents, the differences in things, and even just the movement of your body through an environment, or the different ways in which a city feels and the energy of a thing. That's all very cool things. And of course I have the added ability to play with my vibe and kind of mind as I do these things, which is really cool, that I can enter different states of awareness from either meditation or some type of foreign gift that obviously later rekindled with meditation and practices with cannabis and such things. In any case, continued. We hope to find Ellie and maybe get a shower. Worst comes to worst. This isn't worst comes to worst. Like it's fine. I'll just sleep outside again. Like that's cool. I don't mind the stars, and I just throw a rain poncho over myself and lean back in my bag and sleep like a baby. And it's cool. I found 2 real nice spots I could sleep. I'm thinking the first. There was, as I was coming into Savannah Historical District, they have this mound of grass that you enter from one side, and you could just like lay down there and sleep so easy. So I'm thinking this place, and it's grass, so grass is kind of comfy. You can roll around on it, and that way I perhaps avoid tourists and stuff and get a few hours. And in any case, I look forward to wandering around the city at night. I just wish I was 21 or had an ID. Get a drink or spend some time in a bar, and absorb the atmosphere. But we will see. In any case, we're learning things about ourselves, and this has been fun. I'll give you a little aerial shot. So we're up on the bridge, not a bridge, parking garage. Another cool thing is all the trees in Savannah. There's just all these, kind of willowy trees with these little white streams that come off of them, as well as the palms, being near the water. We saw a few huge ships, big freighters, kind of larger than life, like they sail by, and they stick out of the water so much. It's kind of like, how do these things float? And they move at such a steady, kind of slow pace. It doesn't make sense, but it's really cool. It does make sense at some level, but as far as the mind of the observer, it seems as if not to make sense. We feel as if definitely our thoughts in some way affect those around us, our vibe, and we're exploring this. This does lie outside of the confines of the logic screen for now. I hope to incorporate it into a logic screen. That way we can bring this into the vision, the creation vision, bringing vibes into that. Because I think that'd be so powerful and cool, and it had a whole other dynamic to just seeing everything. Perhaps we should call that vision manipulative power state of vision, because it stems from the eyes. We'll reword that, rephrase. In any case, we're just wandering around, about to have some water, maybe read the book a little bit. Just taking it easy because I got a while. I'm supposed to call my mother as well. Perhaps we'll call her tomorrow. Maybe when we find Ellie, we'll use her phone. But I mean, good things, good things. And speaking of the devil, hopefully I don't die or something, get shot or mugged or whatever. But this seems like a fairly decent city as far as these things go. Fairly large tourist town, I think, especially down on the wharf. I think there's a lot of tourists, a lot of tour buses go around town. This is good news. That means there's other more inviting targets than myself. Also, it means that tourist cities tend not to be as dangerous, I think, in theory. Perhaps you don't see a whole lot of tourists in like Detroit, right? Or I guess in DC you do, and that's the highest crime rate in the country, but who knows? In any case, we make do, and we have a Swiss Army knife. We protect ourselves, We did stash the merchandise at that particular location. We will remember this. Perhaps reaccumulate at some point in the future. Just save it there, and it's always valuable to have stash spots, I think. We hope to perhaps find some psilocybin or magical mushrooms, shrooms. This being a college town, Savannah College of Art and Design, maybe we could find something. I think that'd be cool. And what a beautiful city. Like, I'd probably take them, I don't know, as it near dusk and wander around kind of at night, stash my bag somewhere and just, take in the city. Like, how cool would that be? Like, just, maybe we'd have our bag with us in case adventure struck. We'd never done it before, and I think a city like this where, there's so many crash spots. Like, I don't know, you're tripping bad or something, like you just wander up something like this that's always unlocked, like this right here. Like, this is all, open stairway. Look at this. Like, you just come up here and it's like in Cuba you don't have these spots, like if you have a few spots you can crash in. people see you, people instantly know you in a city like this. I mean, it's not huge, don't get me wrong, but enough people, everyone doesn't know everyone, and you can wander around and kind of like an idiot. And people don't ask questions, it's kind of artsy and, like I said, touristy. So, it's cool. I'm thinking maybe we should look into this Lucas performance tomorrow. Lucas Theater, this is. Vintage, you know, whatever, it'd be cool. So we're checking out for now. Peace. We're sitting here, downtown Savannah, just enjoying the sights. Kind of observing people and taking in the feelings of things. It's cool. I have to recommend this if you go to a city. Just sitting down and listening and watching, and everyone goes by and kind of just observing things. And Savannah's a cool city for this. I'll show you. This fellow right here, statue. He founded one of the big religious Christian institutions in America. So they made a statue of him here in Savannah. His main goal, or his main belief or hope, was that Georgia would remain not a state dictated towards making money and commerce, or whatever it may be, but of one of religion. That it may retain its religious roots and stay religious to God. It's kind of a cool idea, I guess. Religion over all other, but it makes sense given his position. They're kind of stereotypical words. So we're just taking in everything, and let's see it. The dance.
Oh.
Do the dance.
Can you dance? He's Pokemon on the head.
I got you. Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Cool. Catch a lot of Pokemon, dude?
Maybe.
Pokemon? Sweet.
Yeah, I don't let him play at homes. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
Alright, you want to show him your pole dance?
See the dance.
Oh, you're going to do it? Okay.
Alright. Nice. It's
That
hot.
was very good, though.
Yeah, it was cool. Take it easy, guys. But yeah, so just taking in the city and talking to people and stuff like this. You might call some of this, enjoying a culture of a city. Sights, smells, feelings, vibes. You talk to someone on occasion, you ask them what the best restaurant is, to not only figure out what the best restaurant is, but to kind of get a feeling of a person and see your impact and observe your impact on others and other such things, as well as perhaps like I paraphrase, I call it pain training, but it's sort of like if you're nervous about something, then you just sit and you do it. So that is part of what this is. You just sit here and you're perhaps you tweak your vibe a little bit and become more open, or closed off, or whatever it may be. You just develop the mentality that nothing will ever faze me, and anything that does faze me, I'll work out until it doesn't. That's kind of become my mentality for a lot of things, really, particularly like working out and stretching. I figure if I can push basically any muscle or ligament, if I find pain in the ligament, if I work at it enough, there should be no pain. So the idea is social interaction, physical sensation. Really anything can be approached in this manner, that you can pretty much make yourself like a Superman of anything if you're just willing to undergo uncomfortable sensation. Whether it's pain stretching your legs in order to do a split, or not just like doing a split, but as far as athletics go, if you're a running back, or you play basketball, you're forward, really any position in anything, if you're golfing, if you can become fully mobile in any of your bodily movements, you pretty much remove the chance of risk. If you're doing a compounded movement over and over and over the same exact way, you're bound to strain a muscle in such a way that it becomes, you build the muscle. So I'm golfing, I'm swinging, this is common. You experience rotator cuff issues, in your shoulder. because you're doing one motion over and over and over and over, and that's not allowing the arm its full range of motion. You're making it unbalanced. So if you can strain your arm to the point of unbalancedness all the time, or I should say, if you can find these spots of weakness in your arm, and you can, you experience pain in one particular edge, that means you have to work that edge, right, until it strengthens, right, because you work something until it strengthens, or you become immune to the pain of such a thing, and then you work the other angle. So you work right, and then you work left, or you experience some sensation on your head, and then you work through this sensation, and you kind of you flow with this. There's some nervousness. You find the nervousness, and you transgression through the nervousness. No matter what it be, and you really have your eyes open the moment you start breaking down some of these barriers you have to the world, which I particularly do. I have a lot of barriers, very high walls, and I think this is advantageous. I've explained this before in many ways, but it's prevents me from fully experiencing the world in all of its ways, and it makes a lot of the world a mystery to me. And I think if you can at least have the ability to walk outside of the walls that we project, the walls that we build up around ourselves, we find that the world itself is not so mysterious. It's sort of like the yogic idea that I meditate for long enough and I achieve this state where I can sink into a state of well-being and of safety, and in this way you condition your mind to be able to view something without we call it fear or whatever that may be. In this way, if you are able to step outside of your walls and slowly develop more comfortability, or maybe even step outside of your walls, walk a few feet, and then build another wall. That's advantageous as well, instead of just sitting in your keep. And not only that, but it's stimulating. It works at your mind, and it adrenalizes, which is sort of I was so bored for such a long time. I wouldn't exactly use the word bored, but discontent, and I was kind of a refusal to sink into the normal day-to-day of things. I need to be more, and that does push people. I am probably depressed for this reason, whether it's my walls or the state of the world, or state of the people around me, or the state of my body, of my mind. So who knows? I think, side note, something that fascinates me is the interaction between one mind of one person and the words of another onto another. I think understanding this relationship is huge, and perhaps others have a more, call it basic understanding of this than I do, because it's sort of like if you're born in space, perhaps you're born on a spaceship, you naturally develop some sort of understanding of the constellations and of the stars. It's like if you're born on a ship, you just understand a ship. So as a child growing up, like, the ship is like tying your shoe, adjusting the sails and doing such things like this. But if as a grown-up, with call it the metaphorical walls thrown up around our psyche, the building of the ship can seem like this complex intellectual exercise, So perhaps this is how it functions for me, in that I don't completely understand a lot of these interactions, and so therefore they cause me some sort of stress, or so they cause me a sort of, right, I project some type of mystery onto all of it that doesn't necessarily mean to be there. So I have to, one of these solutions I've sort of come up with is to find a way to, childize the world, view it all without the constraints. And I had something like that a while ago. I've explained this about the pure side of things, but it was lacking. And again, I'm caught up in whether or not this feeling of lacking, was I lacking the imagination that stems up from within each person, an imagination, so-called feeling of an event, which is not exactly how the event actually is, such as, like, the feeling of a room. Is the feeling of the room really the feeling of a room, or is it simply some projected thing that we feel simply within ourselves. And doesn't make it any less real because it stems from within ourselves. You know, one person watches a movie, likes it, another person doesn't. One person idolizes one character, another person doesn't idolize a character. So this is interesting. I hesitate at times. People walk by and experience odd sensations, which I feel even awkward voicing out loud, particularly in my anus, right? And that's, I don't know, I think a very sensitive part of the body. I mean, as far as nerve endings, yes, but as far as it's a topic of discussion in society, or as far as it's, we're kind of taught that it's a taboo thing, and I think as babies, like fecally, we're kind of, our mothers, as we change our diapers, it's sort of, it's viewed as, and let's say if a baby could somehow sense emotions or read facial expressions, it's treated as kind of, an ew or, something along these lines. So we develop this, a wall conception, and an association with the particular region, or with a particular feeling of shame or disgust. This even, it's interesting, shifts to our animals as well, like dogs and cats kind of acting like shameful as they go about their business. Sometimes, like I see this in my dog Hank, Schnauzer. It's a cool dog. So anyways, yeah. People. I know that guy, I talked to him. But yeah, like you get to talk to people and know people, and you nod to people and say hello to people, and you do your best to be friendly. And living in a world where everything's a mystery and unknown, at least to myself, it's very interesting. Kind of walking around this pool of stimulation, of one touch, one thought, one hello, has an impact on the entire environment surrounding me. It takes getting used to, and I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. And then I question, is that good that I'll never get used to this? The thing is, then I'll be quote unquote used to not being used to things. So in this way, I can kind of go to any region, any place, any type of environment with no sense of familiarity, and like go by as if I am familiar. Be familiar in the unfamiliar. But really, you're just lacking in all familiarity and only knowing the unfamiliar. It's like if we were always happy, we would not know the feeling of happiness. We wouldn't categorize it. We wouldn't have a word for being happy. Because if we always had that, that particular feeling always, then it would just be like the air. And then maybe we would call it something. It'd be like, I don't know. We would call that what is the feeling of air on our skin, right? Like we don't have a particular word for the feeling of air on our skin, but if the feeling of air on our skin shifted based on some set of variables, then we would have different terms for the feeling of air on our skin, such as emotions. So I tie this in with the feeling, the lack of familiarity, the lack of being able to say, yes, I know this. They're always feeling like a stranger, of unknowingness. Sometimes I compare myself to and this is odd that the thing pops in my head, but this does stem from a yogic idea perhaps, where the idea could have rooted from of this snake and how it has to crawl on its belly. Sometimes I feel like this, as if I'm forced to be like the lowly list of the low. But my pride prevents this, and I don't know if I should break down this barrier and accept whatever it is I'm doing. So basically, in this kind of puddle that I walk around in, it's I can only just continue to put one foot in front of the other and trust that everything is as it is meant to be. As odd and confusing and oftentimes saddening and perhaps even suicidal it makes me, just due to the lack of knowing or the lack of I don't know. I can't describe any of this, and so perhaps this is what causes me to feel so philosophical, is that I have no grasp really on anything, just simply an idea base. And is this? I mean, like the Zen religion might say that there is no real truth to anything. Like Buddhists would stress this idea as well, which we can assume that if there is any kind of truth found by human as far as some type of higher truth, other than like the Christian idea of the belief in God or a higher power, perhaps even like in a saint idea, and perhaps saints do have some type of greater God-given understanding of the world. But as far as from a Zen standpoint, we know nothing. We really know nothing, and the idea of knowing things prevents us from understanding, because we become locked in belief systems. We become locked in associations. We see a man jogging, we assume he's doing it for health. And then perhaps he just I don't know, feels like jogging. Like there's no particular reason for it. I mean, that's a terrible example. I don't know. Well, we've dealt with associations a lot. I mean, analyze the African American slavery thing, associations, and what those did to a country. The associations of I mean, perhaps uncleanliness, and the lack of an ability to go in a restaurant. The fact that someone walked in a restaurant like that there would be a massive, like a freak out. I mean, if someone like that walked in a restaurant, back during this time, you'd have a serious issue, and people would freak out. And or perhaps another good example is like with blood. Like you see blood and some people puke. Like it's these associations that then prevent us, because then you have an association. You see something, there's an association, and you're left with this, and that perhaps prevents us from seeing into the the veil of things. And I like to impart some type of dark mystery over everything, because that's kind of where my interest would lie in it. And I also can't help that this association, this associating the unknown with the mystery, or even using a word such as unknown as far as what lies around me, is a flawed kind of way of viewing this. And I'm really left with how to view anything, how to look at anything, and it's confounded by the confusion of what other people know around me, and their seeming knowingness makes me feel uncertain in my quest for truth. So that's another particular variable that's hard to get over, is the fact that we walk around so confident in our knowingness. So you see these people, and the social implications of this, that pretty much like, okay, so we analyze the Donald Trump phenomena, and a lot of people credit his rise to fame because of his huge ego, and this is the idea that if you are very certain in your beliefs, other people tend to be very certain in your certainty. Like we feed off certainty. So if I am certain in something, or at least I give out the feeling of certainty, if it's stronger than the other certainties around me, people almost become certain in this idea. I mean, it could be. I mean, let's analyze some of the crazes of of history, like perhaps the witch hunts. The fact that we would burn people and drown people. Oftentimes just people using herbs and woods to cure diseases, and then we'd burn this woman at stake due to a certainty of which it's crazy. And so this, I mean, what causes this? I mean, we call it an obvious weakness, but it's group thinking, but it's so completely skewed. And this of course ties in with myself, because my unknowingness, or at least my knowing of a knowingness, leads to a serious lack of confidence. And of course, confidence is something that I can create and wallop in myself at a moment's notice if need be. But it's a falsified confidence, and I realize this. So I only hope that I continue to move forward in this sort of rather interesting journey of life, even if. And then of course you're left with sometimes I ponder this, my inclination towards quote unquote ending it. Whether or not I'm drawn to this for a particular reason, such as that I have fulfilled a purpose, or of course I've realized the transitoriness of the body, of the fact that death is not the end, and I've been beyond that. But fears persist as far as what would happen as a result of an action such as this. We're obviously very heavily conditioned to believe that, it's a sin, and of course this makes sense. From a social standpoint, you don't want people, taking their own lives. That's something that would have obviously been addressed, and it has been addressed. You shall not take life, and obviously your own life is on this. You get trapped in, from a Christian point of view, some people believe like a purgatory or a hell of something of the like. So should I transcend this idea and jump the boat, quote unquote, jump to the, whatever may lie next, take the risk? Is it a risk I should take? Begin another recording because I'm feeling talkative and philosophical, and this will kind of be like my journal entry of sorts. I've recently been very fixated on the concepts prostitution, which is interesting. Of course, I feel any variable has to be treated as just simply variable, and that anything has to be analyzed and examined despite its, taboos or whatever may stand. That's always been one of my beliefs, and as hard as that can be. So, prostitution, and God, like sexuality, and concepts that we, at least myself, tend to shrink from due to my upbringing, or such things like I say a particular word and you almost feel something, like, i.e., particularly in the past, it's not as strong now. It's almost been desensitized by rap music and such things, but the word nigger, and the effect that can have on a room full of people. How about the word cunt or whore? And I can say these things easier because they're not in relation to myself. But if something's personal, then it becomes particularly difficult to address. From kind of the acute outside observer, which is what I was for the longest time, just viewing things through the alien eyes. It's very easy to address these things, and it gives me such a greater understanding of the awkwardness that can result out of these things. It's really awkwardness that I stem to take out of myself, because that prevents me from addressing things. And I am torn with, this exists for a reason, or it should be turned down, and if it really matters. So I've almost kind of had to adopt a nothing matters persona in order to get around to addressing these things. Oftentimes I wonder if I had buried aspects of my quote-unquote sexuality, and that they have kind of fermented and bubbled and become diseased, and now they stem up and torture me. Is this something that happens? Referencing homosexuality, and it's whatever this may be. I have questions discerning what causes these things. It's been viewed as a mental illness for a long time, which I'm not entirely sure if this is true. And even if it is a mental illness, I've always held the belief that any mental illness should be, we should lose the taboo mental illness and perhaps rephrase that as just simply difference. Because oftentimes, was it Robert Nast, beautiful mathematician, A Beautiful Mind is actually a movie. Learn about the man, and the dude was schizophrenic. Much of his life he saw things that didn't exist, but the dude had a brilliant mind for patterns, and seeing things in the world that no one else did. And this was because of really his mental illness. Oftentimes very, very smart people are, we as a society use terms such as common sense lacking, and this would simply stem from the fact that they view the world in such an entirely different way. I think what a lot of this mental illness is the fact that we're dealing with individuals who, for any particular reason, like any particular person, any singular variable in any social setting, or any part of any person is is the happenstance of everything that goes into this person. Someone crosses the street, another person doesn't. This person crosses the street for a particular reason based on traffic flows and a million thousand variables. So someone sees something that's not there. There's a reason for this. So we strip away the categorization of mental illness. We simply hold it. This person views something differently. We address things less on difference, less on this person looked at me weird, or I get weird vibes from this person, or this person sees a magical unicorn going through and we address underlying things like, or perhaps external. You can really look at this anyway, but I think this is how much of the world's issues will be addressed, or at least how I personally would address them. So we deal with mental illness. So what's wrong with being mentally ill in society? Because you can't support yourself, you don't have a job. Whether this would come down to, the next variable chain would be address the job situation, address the housing situation. Someone needs a house to sleep in, address the issue as far as housing goes. Or, the need even for a house to sleep in, develop suits in which people can sleep anywhere, really. And then what would be the next issue in this variable chain? Sleeping laws in cities. Take away the sleeping laws in cities, or correspond certain areas in which a city in which you can sleep, certain areas and anywhere you can sleep. Build a suit that can strip away various layers and can become waterproof and even preserve temperature to a degree, keeping someone waterproof, and provide these free of cost to everyone. So provide everyone with an ability to sleep anywhere. Bang, one problem solved. And perhaps food is another issue. So one solution to this is we teach people how to meditate. That we make that a core curriculum, within our schooling and even throughout age. Perhaps we implement a system in which the education system never ends, in which we truly never, I hate to say, become not free, because I don't think you become free when you graduate from high school or college, but in which so we hold high school to be mandatory, and so we would hold these schooling systems to be pretty much mandatory throughout the entire existence of one's life. And when you make one of these things to be meditation, through meditation you're able to control certain things such as hunger, and able to push the body a lot farther. The phenomena of the Indian yogi who eats a piece of rice a day, or the guys that really don't eat anything. You see the kid sitting under the tree. You can Google this or YouTube it, who supposedly hasn't ate anything for 4 months and sits cautious under a tree. So essentially the idea is you slow your energy levels and you don't waste unnecessary energy. So then there's one sort of solution to the food thing, or perhaps we simply increase our agricultural yield to the point that we're able to provide a sustainable amount of food to every person in the world. And this is possible, with our technology and distribution methods easily. So then, we're dealing in this particular variable chain with the person suffering from a certain particular mental illness. Say schizophrenia, he sees unicorns in the air and it's hard for him to work a job. So we provide him with a means of he can sleep anywhere and really survive in most conditions. Perhaps he can't survive in Siberia or a certain, latitude, above a certain latitude or below a certain latitude due to cold conditions. So we provide him with a suit that will keep him warm and keep him dry. And we solve the food issue as from a worldwide standpoint, as that we simply that we feed everyone. That's very humanitarian and sort of far-reaching, but I see no reason that could potentially eventually become something that we all eventually diagnose and deal with. It makes sense to me. It's possible, at least from the alien eye standpoint, which is kind of telling me that really anything is possible, which is one of the coolest things about that. I just hope to be able to eventually reclaim that, hopefully with some insight and appreciation as far as the sight of things. Let's see, what would be the next problem in this variable chain? Perhaps the need to, so one might say that all people should in some way contribute to society. And what is my solution, of course, would be something of the sorts that we stop viewing someone working some job, for some company as contributing to society, and we become far more reaching in this. Someone's contribution to society or someone's really life perhaps is more dictated whether on a personal journey, a personal manifesto, some type of personal derived thing, and of course freedom is paramount in all of these ideas that everyone needs to be free. But so the man who with schizophrenia, he sees unicorns everywhere he goes, so he becomes quite good at drawing unicorns. This gives him an artistic edge. So then perhaps even within our society in which we live, this man, due to extenuating things, or perhaps he becomes very creative, he becomes an artist. And of course, we see these things, but they're not common knowledge. It's sort of up to each person to kind of go about and create their own way in this world. And I think that we could create some steps or some type of educational thing, like I learn about Magellan, and I learn about atoms, and I don't know, electrolytes and such things. But as far as the most basic things, and perhaps we take it for granted that all people understand these things, and I don't think that's true at all. I think our understanding of these concepts is so limited. I've noticed something in myself is I tend to become vague. When someone could understand what I'm saying, I tend to kind of float off. Perhaps as a safety measure. I don't know. So someone walks by, I become very observant. I become still. I sit here. Like the air becomes not heavy, but tense. Does this come from myself or other people? Do I create an intimidating figure that people feel intimidated by, so this happens? Or is it that I am intimidated, I am fearful, so then this occurs? Like I said, the relationships between people. And of course, I'm oversimplifying, and due to even perhaps my need to find answers to these problems, I can't quite find answers to them. I need them so heavily that I jump on little things and I can't see something through. This reminds me of doing the mentat, that you have to have the ability to sit still within yourself, let variables pass by in order to latch onto something. Because you get a feeling on something, and if you immediately go through and pinpoint an answer, you lose the initial feeling for some direct information. And in this way, you come to some incorrect information and you lose the initial true feeling behind something. So this is something that I sit with. And I'm sort of ceaselessly blown away by the oddity of myself and of the world, people, and everything around me. I think this is a good thing. I think if more people were blown away by the oddity of what surrounded them, and perhaps became aware that, or at least in some way understood that other people surrounding themselves were just as blown away by the oddity of things, we wouldn't have such strict social customs and such things. We'd kind of have, because if everyone realized that we all know nothing really, and we're all kind of just foolish and walking around, and perhaps could view our customs as foolish things, if not interesting things, and maybe even important things still, but understanding the underlying sort of foolishness, if an alien were to come down here and view us, how odd everything would look. If we could somehow incorporate this view into everything, I think we'd have massive social, economic change. I think it'd be very beautiful. So yeah, this might be labeled as philosophical inquiry or something like this, some type of broad-reaching, brain-stimulating conversation. Really just with myself and in my ideas as I think. And I believe this probably resulted as a tendency of perhaps I call them my high walls. The tendency to sit isolated in an environment and simply observe. And in this way, I don't really have any real connections. So my dialogue would be internal, self-derived. And this has been both advantageous and disadvantageous. Advantageous in the sense that everything's developed through myself, so I don't feed off some of the reciprocating falsehoods. I'm able to view everything in this sort of odd manner. But definitely disadvantageous in the sense that it leads to heightened paranoia and other such obvious disadvantages that then prevent me from learning fuller, more complete truths. I think the role of the loner can be very important in society. As far as being able to offer different ideas, like Walt Disney, a very creative, imaginative, different kind of fellow, and for these reasons, he was able to do what he did because he he wasn't tied down, so to speak. So yeah, so now we end this self conversation. Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Good. Little things, little people. Observing the differences, but the lack of the brain to understand any of it. And so I simply sit here as an observer and create these half beliefs, but I don't draw any certain conclusions. And I have to believe that this is pushing, hopefully, myself towards some type of higher realization, or at least motivating myself to do things and to move. And what's the greatest motivator? I know people would argue this point. Some would say fear or pain. I don't know. But this is definitely some type of motivation. Not knowing anything keeps the mind sharp, I think. No, you're fine. I'm just talking, really. Yeah. But in any case, I don't know. I'm left at I don't really feel like doing anything, but yeah, I feel like doing something. Everything and nothing, all and everything. Both being certain and uncertain, knowing and unknowing. It's craziness.
Yeah, like it's not even a farmer can. I'm like, I don't even know what to
But yeah, so click out. So we walked through the beautiful Savannah, Georgia. On this day, we have reunited with Eleanor K.K. Morris.
I said it wrong, it's okay.
KK.
K-Kai. We
K-Kai.
kind of said it, but
All right. I said her name wrong. And we appreciate the city. Any wise words?
I'll get back to you. I had to think about it.
She'll get back to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7. And we should back to my dorm. And I have to go.
Could you sneak my clothes in your washer?
Sure.
Thanks. And then you go to your
What are you gonna
meeting.
wear?
What am I gonna wear?
Yeah.
I'll keep some clothing. I'll just go naked. Make a fashion statement. Not really. I'll wear like my shorts, you know.
I don't want to.
You got peanut butter?
Yeah, because I steal bread from our cafeteria all the time. And my mom sent me like really good jelly.
Yeah.
But I got freaking good peanut butter, but it expired. I was like,
I feel like you can still eat expired peanut butter.
I don't know. It got really hard, so I threw it away.
You should have microwaved it and added milk to it. That would have been a good idea. I don't know. Maybe not. And chocolate. And drink it like a smoothie. That's what I would have done. But anyways,
I think this way would be best. Sorry.
it's alright.
I don't
She's
know
she's
what-
not very good for being a local. I'm severely disappointed.
You still videotaping?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll do like a running vlog or something.
There's a really cool thrift shop down there, but it's so expensive. Like,
Really?
yeah, like thrift shop should be like $5 a t-shirt or less, and it's like $15.
Wow. Yeah.
You just go to like H&M and get something just like
Get something for $15.
yeah.
Yeah.
some girl had a puppy pit bull on the bus today because it was like her service dog.
Yeah.
So freaking cute. And it was like licking my leg. And maybe
Really?
my dog so much. Like genuinely.
Can you get it? Have animals
You have to be
like blind?
no, you have to just have like a prescription almost. Saying that you need one.
Okay. Maybe you should get one like you I don't know, like emotionally, you know, like you're depressed without an animal.
This is the place. Did you meet with any cops when you were coming down?
Yeah, a bunch.
What'd they say?
The first one gave me a ride. Well, the first one, because I was like,
First hitchhiker?
yeah, maybe. I think he may have been my second. So basically, I was sleeping on the side of the road. Someone called it in. So then he just swung by, and then he took my name and stuff, and ended up calling my mom to like figure out what my deal was. And then he later found me down the road, and he gave me a ride to this grocery store, and I picked up supplies, and then he drove me 40 miles.
Cool.
Yeah, he was my first hitchhiker. And then another one in Virginia, who told me I couldn't walk on the highway. But it's cool. Do you listen to people say as you walk by?
Sometimes. I was listening to you, but maybe if I wasn't listening to you, I would.
Yeah. What's up?
Seriously, you got water?
Yeah, we can stop somewhere.
Before
If
you
you
know,
want.
you'll wake up one morning and you'll see it's like where you're.
We're sitting here at a library, so we're gonna keep it down. But we just ordered a plane ticket to leave Savannah. We're leaving this Tuesday. We had a good time here. Interesting city. Learned a little bit, observed a lot, and we're just left piecing some things together. But it has been a good journey, I have to say. So, yeah, that's it, basically. Now I just have some time to kill. Probably do a lot of reading, really. That'll be basically it, you know. But we'll have to see. We'll wait. But yeah, libraries are great resources. Computers, charging stations, people resources. People tend to be friendly, and you could probably even go on one and take a nap during the day. Kind of a safe spot. That's it. Peace out. What's good? We just got to the Savannah Hitland Airport, and we're just kind of hanging out. It's pretty cool. I'll give you a view. Really not shabby as far as an airport goes. It's kind of cool, old school, kind of rustic, you know. We got the clock in the middle, kind of modeled after like a train station a little bit. I like it, it's cool. So we're gonna try to get through security. We just got our two passes here, JetBlue, like $195. That's not really too bad. It's kind of a small airport. I don't even know if you can get through security, honestly. But it's cool. If we can't, we'll just, you know, chill out one of these here benches. you know, enjoy ourselves. We ordered some food. I don't know if any joints are open at this time. You know, it's kind of like low key. It seems like there's not even really like security. Can you even go through security? Do you guys do security? Can I like continue into like the terminal and such? Huh? Yes. Can I continue? I just like I've never been to an airport like this that shuts down like at night. Are you guys shut? You know, like shut down like, cause
No, but you can't get back down there.
how do I check my bag in?
You have to check. Oh, yeah.
No. Like, I'm just like trying. I don't like. I've never been to an airport that shuts down. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, like, what time is your flight in the morning?
It's actually not in the morning. I just got here really early. It's at 4:54
4:54 in the morning. Okay.
p.m.
4:54 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, you have to wait till tomorrow to go ahead and do your baggage, check in your baggage, okay?
Mhm.
Because TSA is already, you can't go down there anyways, so you
Okay.
have to wait till in the morning.
Wait till the morning.
Morning or afternoon to go ahead and check in your baggage, okay? Because your flight is at
4:54
4:54 tomorrow afternoon.
tomorrow afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, I'll wait then, and then I'll
Right.
come through and get it.
Sleep up there on the benches, or we even got rocking chairs up there. And we got
Awesome.
TVs, okay?
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Did you get your boarding pass?
Yep.
What time are you flying in?
Actually 4:54 p.m. So she says she would explain it all to me, but I'm just gonna go wait and read my book or something.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just on photos.
Huh?
Photos. We're taking a bunch of photos out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do. Yeah, just doing like a little collage of stuff. So just happened to swing by. You like your job? You like your job?
Do I like my job? It pays
Yeah.
the bills.
I guess that's true. Very true.
I prefer to be off.
All right. Switch it up then. Find something you love doing. That's what I say. Thank you for the talk. Yeah. So yeah, so we get some classical music. We're just gonna chill. Battery's almost dead, so we're gonna cut the battery. Just enjoy ourselves for a little bit. Maybe catch some Z's in this here rocking chair. Not bad, because I always sleep on a bench. But we're here. Oh yeah, that fellow / woman. I wasn't exactly sure as far as gender goes. Not to insult, of course. Sometimes it's just difficult to tell. I didn't feel like dialing up the intensity in order to tell, so I just kind of left it anonymous. It's cool though. Cool person, gave me a ride. Actually offered to let me spend the night and shower at their place, but I think that's generally a no-go as far as careful practice goes. But of course, I would leave that to the call of the individual to determine something of that nature. I may have jumped on it, would have gotten me a meal and something, but of course I'm still unsure of so many variables that I want to just take it easy and get to the airport. And hunger isn't that big of a thing for me. I kind of freshened up in the bathroom, you know, got some, took off clothing and just in the sink, kind of washed up. And then used the towels to wash off my shoes and some of my clothing as well. Kind of have that soapy smell. I guess some of the sweat off maybe. Who knows? I don't think I smelled that bad, but. And then of course I did like underneath my clothing as far as legs go. I just wet the towel and kind of let it do its work. So all's well, all's good. So we're just chilling here, kind of observing things. I've always liked this. Gotten used to. At one point really liked viewing things, probably when I was very young, like a baby. I'm sure as I got older and learned more things, I enjoyed it even more. And I'm at that standstill point where I feel like I don't learn things as I look around me. I mean, I do, of course, but it's more philosophy-based, which is entertaining from an intellectual point of view. It's not as entertaining on a physical point of view. So we might do. Perhaps we'll nod off for a little bit. But this is the end of the journey, essentially. It's just the jet up to JFK and JFK to Buff. And then perhaps a little hitchhiking, walking action to get down to Cuba. Maybe we'll call it the Madre. We don't know if we should want to come up and take a trip to Buffalo. You know, we hate to make it go all that way. It's 3 hours and gas isn't exactly cheap. So maybe we'll see if we can catch a ride somewhere down south, somewhere in the area, and then have her come pick me up or something like this. Advantages of family. Make sure you have the connections. Don't burn bridges. Unless, of course, the bridges are holding you back, in which case burn the bridges and then perhaps repair the bridges or build a new bridge. That's always possible. Sometimes I think the bridges we have built, the upkeep of the bridge inhibits us from not only building a bigger, more secure bridge, but also one more accommodating to ourselves and maybe the people we're with. I think this is most common in old friendships, close relationship between a boss, particularly family, of course. We have these bridges built, bridges being relationships, of course, and our interpretation of the relationship impacts us with sometimes burning the relationship, or in a sense of some sort. Burning the relationship allows us to rebuild the relationship, to in some way quote Fight Club. Excellent film, never seen it. It's definitely one of my favorites. What is it? How do you expect to know yourself if you've never been in a fight? That's one quote. Relatable, I think. And it is only when we've lost everything that we're free to, I forget the exact wordings, but live our life. I think there's two very beautiful things. How do you know who you are if you've never been in that scenario in which adrenaline kicks over and you lose your social polish? You become the animal, essentially. How do you know who you are until this point? That's really what it means. How do you know who you are until you have the gun in your face? You know, until that action sequence, you don't really know who you are. So get in the fight, you know, pick a fight. And then, you know, you are not free until all has been stripped away, essentially. It's only when you realize, and we actually had a conversation with that gentleman who gave us a ride up here, on such things as you have to accept your death before you're truly able to live freely. And it's only when we've accepted that we are going to die, and that pretty much anything we do is really rather insignificant in the grand scheme of things, that we're free to, perhaps, free within our minds to burn these bridges with people, and to move forward and then to rebuild these bridges based on perhaps our terms and perhaps even the person's terms we're with. Because I think it's kind of mutual. Like, if a relationship's pleasant for me, it tends to be pleasant for the other person as well. And that oftentimes we build bridges that are not pleasant, and we simply upkeep them out of a social necessity on both sides. So between two people, you end up, you know, rather perhaps not a comfortable relationship. Simply each man on each side of the relationship, man, woman, same thing. Upkeeping a relationship in a particular fashion, simply out of an idea that, you know, one person sees another person sees another person. You know, we don't want to insult, we don't want to hurt feelings, emotions, so we both maintain this. So burn the damn bridge and then rebuild in a way that's pleasant, or at least beneficial or knowledgeable, informational. And sometimes those uncomfortable things are those things. You know, those things that are interesting and knowledgeable and teach us things. Sometimes they're not. So my advice is burn a few bridges, stick your foot out the door, turn on the hot water, eat some food you've never ate before, you know, go hitchhiking, do something crazy, pick a fight, whatever, switch up your life, because you're going to die, and none of it really matters, so make it matter to you. Become a pleasure seeker, an adventure seeker, become responsible for your life in a sense, and don't let society and relationships and all these things drag you around. Individualize, break free from the norm. To quote John Mayer, so I'm grounded, got my wings clipped, but I'm surrounded by all this pavement, and if I circle while I'm waiting for my view to try. Wasn't the quote I was looking for, but it's what popped in my head. So we quit for now and continue another time. Rock on. So we made it back. We're back at the pad, and what a journey it's been. It's been good. The little things. You come home, everything tastes better. You kind of walk in the door and the smell of your house hits you, and it's homey and it feels good. You make the peanut butter sandwich, and the peanut butter is like the best peanut butter in the world. Everything's tastes are enriched. Your bed feels amazing, of course, and showers feel good as well. So on a whole, I highly recommend a venture of this sort. Maybe simply for the fact that when you come home, it's everything's so much better. It's like fasting, perhaps. You fast and then you eat that food, or if you go on a long road trip, and that final burger place you stop at, and that burger is just the most amazing thing you've ever had in your life. Something along this nature. Except it's like an entirety of, I'm not walking today. I have someplace, safe to stay. I have food in my fridge and a computer to watch movies at, and couches and a bed to sleep on. Like the little things, they really hit you, and you foster an appreciation for the things that you do have, perhaps. It's not to say that I wouldn't lose these things, in like 2 days. Kind of try to overcome your material possessions and stuff like this. Don't be held down by those things. What is it, like, own your possessions, don't let them own you. So let them simply be, luxuries in your life that you don't require, but they do make things more fluid and smooth, and the little things, perhaps. That's what I would categorize them as, the little things. So we're back and we're about to piece this video together. I'm all showered, my hair's all. Grandma's bringing chicken soup later. Madra just announced from the hallway. So these are all good things. We're thinking about Japan next. Maybe we'll make a few videos here and there, philosophical inquiry and stuff like this, and little ideas I have, more for myself than really anyone else. However, if someone takes some type of pleasure or enjoyment or interest out of these videos, or takes them as some sort of self-enticement for going out and exploring the outdoors, and maybe one's even own psyche and idea system, I think that'd be great. But for now, these are for me, kind of like a journal, a log or something. And YouTube's such a nice place because it's like free storage, really, and I can put all my videos there and recommend them to people, and it's on this online database. I think that's really cool. I can make links, to like my journals and such, and so like video entries, perhaps, that I can have my kids watch in the future, or my future self, or maybe they get famous or something. Maybe not. Maybe they have like 100 views or 200 views or 3 views. It doesn't really matter, because it's me putting ideas out there, my interests, logging perhaps my journeys in the future. Maybe at some point in the future they'll become valuable to myself in some measure or form. But at least I'm creating. There's that creative force that I'm building things, and that's I think an innermost part of everyone is the need to create. So what are we, like, made in the likeness of God if you're a Christian man, Christian folk, and what is God but the creator, the order out of chaos, So like, we live in this chaos. It's taking chaos, which is creativity, and all these objects surrounding us, and our eyes perceive things, and the brain tallies them and categorizes them or whatever. And then we can take these little things and create out of them, whether it's an idea, a word, a video, a journey, conversation, experience. We're always creating. Each second we create, each millisecond, simply as thinking and being, as making creation out of this chaos. So in this way, we are kind of our own gods, and this is a cool thought, I think. It's always something I preach. You should be the god of your own universe, holding yourself to be not below anything, but maybe not above anything either, kind of at neutral, equal grounds to anything in creation, since we're all made of the same bits of matter.